In this video, we'll talk about how we use the A to calculate the z-scores for the matrix and how to use the z-score and the A value to divide the new upcoming data observation. After we got the A score, A value, we can use the A, the first element, A1 times the column 1 from either matrix plus the A2, the element 2 from the A times the column 2 from the same matrix. For example, let's take a look at our matrix. The matrix 1, temperature 1. So the first element is 33, the first column, and the second column is 60. So by using this formula, we use the 33, that is the value from column 1, times the minus 1.633, and then plus the A2, that is the A 1.82 times the column 2. The value for the column 2 is 60. After that, we will get the 55.29 something for the first matrix, first observation. And we're gonna do the same thing for the remaining rows in the matrix 1. And after that, we just end up with the z-score for the matrix 1. And then for the second matrix, temperature 2, we do totally the same thing by using the totally same formula. Put, for example, the 35 times the element 1 in the matrix and plus the 57 from the and times the A2, that is 1.82. And then you will end up with the z-score for the temperature 2. So this is how I use the R without built-in R function to calculate the scores for the two matrices. The matrix dot 1 is the first matrix, and the square comma 1 gonna help me to find the first column from this matrix. So those are the values for it. Times the first element, it is minus 1.63, and over here it's gonna help me to get the column 2 from the first matrix, and then times the A2, that is 1.882. And after I run it and look at the temperature, so I end up with the z-score for the matrix 1. Then I'm gonna do the totally same thing for the second matrix by changing the matrix dot 1 to the matrix dot 2. And the remaining is the same. Okay, let me run the, okay, here is it. The 64.55 or 6, and then 48 something. If you want to compare, they should be very close or totally the same. After the z-score, actually we achieved the first one. Find a good way to separate two to more groups. And then we want to use it to allocate a new observation into groups. To do that, because we have already got the z-score for the matrix 1, we can achieve the z1 bar, that is the sample mean of the first matrix. And the same thing for the matrix 2. Z2 bar gonna be the mean score for the second matrix or the group 2. If z1 bar is larger than z2 bar, then there's a new individual And for the new individual, it comes in the with 2 columns. You want to use this formula to calculate the z star for the new upcoming observation. And if the z star is larger than the half of the z1 plus z2 bar, then we want to divide it into the group 2. Otherwise, it's gonna be divided into the group 2. The group 1, sorry, previously it's the group 1. And if z1 bar is smaller than z2 bar, and we want to divide it into group 1 if the z star, the new upcoming data observation, smaller than half of z1 bar plus z2 bar. That is in group 1. Otherwise, it's gonna be divided in group 2. So we can just think about that. If the z star is closer to the is larger to the half of this z1 plus z2 bar, that means it's gonna be closer to the z1 bar when the z1 bar is larger than z2 bar. In that way, we're gonna just individuate to the group 1. Otherwise, it's gonna be in the group 2. So just look at the z-score is closer to which group, and then we can decide how we want to classify into the group. Here is how we want to use R to calculate that. Because we have already got the z-score for temperature 1 and temperature 2, it's very easy to calculate the mean for both. And easy to calculate the half for the z1 bar plus z2 bar. And over here, we can see that z1 bar is larger than z2 bar. And then if there's a new upcoming data point, that is 37 for the first column and 40 and then 59 for the second column. We want to use the previous formula to calculate the z star for the new upcoming data point. Still use the A1 times column 1 plus A2 times column 2. And the z star gonna look like that. So use the same thing over here. Because the z1 is larger than z2 and the z star is smaller than half of z1 bar to z2 bar, then we should assign the new upcoming data point to temperature 2 or the group 2.